Hello and welcome to today's speed build. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. So today we're building in the world of Chesnut Ridge, and we're building a tiny home today. Now, I am not someone that typically does tiny homes, but recently I've been really trying to kind of step out of my comfort zone and do things that I'm not used to, and honestly a tiny home is one of those. I feel like I'm just very comfortable doing bigger builds. I think that they're easier, or I don't know, there's more to work with, which to me makes it easier to kind of add on, make things look better, and you're not limited. Whereas when it comes to doing tiny homes, you are limited. You can literally only build a certain amount of tiles. You need to keep it very short, very sweet. And yeah, that is something that I don't tend to do, but I was so excited to do this today for you guys. So I really hope you like this one. If you do, please make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about tiny homes just for people that are unfamiliar. So we, with the expansion pack Tiny Living, got the option to build tiny homes, which comes in 3 different tiers. So those 3 tiers are micro home, tiny home, and small home. So I am doing the middle tier today, which is of course tiny home. And these aren't just small homes, which, you know, is really cute, but that's not all there is to it. The reason that these are options is because they actually come with perks that normal sized homes do not. So with the one I am building right now, I am building between a tile of 33 and 64 tiles. So I need to stay within that tile count, or else, you know, I don't get the perks of that tier. Now, in this tier that I'm building on, I have the benefits of lower bills. I get the happy, inspired, and focus buffs that last twice as long. And then also we get twice as much comfort. And then we also get skills increase twice as fast. So it's really good. I feel like it's honestly really worth living in a tiny home because you get so many good perks. Now, as the tiers go on, you kind of get less and less perks. So with micro home, you get the most perks. And then with small home, you only actually get 2 perks, which is low bills and then the happy, inspired, and focus buffs, which does make sense because for a small home you can build up to 100 tiles, and I felt like this is the reason I didn't choose that one. It's very easy to build 100 tiles, like you have so much space to work with, whereas micro homes you have like no space to work with, which is again why I didn't choose that one. But I did end up choosing a tiny home, which I just felt like was the perfect in between. It meant that there was enough space to work with, but I wasn't gonna be like super stressed out trying to fit everything in. So yeah, hopefully you like this one. Let me know if you like tiny homes. I would love to hear if you guys prefer to live in tiny homes than you do regular sized homes. Let me know in the comments down below. But I do want to just note that you've probably noticed, but I've only placed 52 tiles so far. I do end up placing 64, so you'll end up seeing like a little expansion being added. I felt like there was no point in building under the 64 tile lot just because you don't get like more perks from doing that. So yeah, I decided to kind of expand this home a little bit. So initially this kind of floor plan that we've got here was going to be the kitchen and living space, which it does stay as, and then 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. But it does end up changing to 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. So you will see me add on to this just a little bit to kind of make that dynamic work. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the dynamic that I had in mind just before I talk about the interior. So I had in mind that there was a grandparent and his granddaughter living in this little house, which I thought was such a sweet dynamic. So I had in mind that the little girl, she's only young, she's probably like 10, but she loves helping her grandpa around this little like farmhouse. She loves helping him with the animals and stuff. Now I think the granddad is just, he's such an animal lover. Like these animals are like his pets, you know, like he takes care of them, he cares for them so much. He just loves animals, and he always has. I think he's always lived in the world of Chestnut Ridge. I think that he grew up here and that his family loved animals as well, and that's kind of what got him into the kind of the lifestyle of living within like a farm. I don't know if farm is the correct term, because I don't know if this is necessarily a farm, but he does end up having animals here. He ends up having a chicken coop. There also ends up being the little like barn for the cows. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a farm, but that might be wrong. But yeah, it's just pretty much a space where he lets his animals live and he takes care of them, and yeah, he loves them so much, and that's kind of definitely rubbed off on his granddaughter. Like she just loves chilling with the animals, taking care of them. And yeah, I think that even though she's only 10, like she's very mature for her age, and she loves being with her grandpa. She loves helping him out, and I think that they have like such a close dynamic as well. Now I really like this dynamic, so I hope you do too. You can of course change anything you like if you want to use this home for yourself. If you want to have, you know, like 2 Sims, if you want to have 4 Sims, like it's completely up to you. You probably couldn't fit 4 Sims, but you know, I digress. But I do want to talk a little bit about the space that I'm building right now. So this is the big open kitchen and living space. Now I really love how this turned out. This is probably my favorite part of this whole home. Now this chair, this was a struggle trying to put it underneath the cabinet. I did have to use tool mod, and it did take ages, but if you want that to be functional, you just need to like pull it back and snap it back to the counter. The reason I didn't want it to be functional though is because I didn't like how it looked on the rug, so I decided to just put it there for decoration. I also didn't think there was like any need for there to be a chair there, so yeah, I just kind of added it as an extra decoration, but you can definitely change that if you would like to. And then I added this little like middle area with the cabinet and this little plant. I thought this was a nice divider to kind of show the space in between the kitchen and the living room. I just felt like it helped bring it together, made it feel a little bit more homey, and just, yeah, I wanted this house to feel very lived in and very, I don't know if realistic is the word. I just wanted it to feel like a functioning home and not like something that's just been pieced together and been forced to work because it's a tiny home. I wanted it to feel like, you know, these Sims live here. They, you know, they have a good life here. They love it, and yeah, I don't know. I just wanted it to feel very comfy, very comfortable. But yeah, I honestly love the dynamic that I came up with for these Sims. I feel like it is the sweetest little thing ever. And yeah, I'm so excited to move on to the little girl's bedroom because her room is so sweet. Now, I do end up moving the bathroom, so that ends up being where the kind of back door is at the moment. And then the back door ends up being here where I'm building. Kind of hard to explain when I'm, you know, in fast mode, but you will see it. You'll see it kind of come together right now. But yeah, I ended up using exactly 64 tiles, which was absolutely perfect. It just worked out really, really well. And we do end up showing the back garden as well. I think I did it last just because I really wanted to get the interior sorted before moving on to the exterior, but I love this home, honestly. Now, as I was saying, I'm not typically someone who does tiny homes, but I loved how this turned out. I just thought it worked out really, really nicely. I wasn't like, I think it got to a point where I wasn't really thinking about it too much, whereas at the start I was like, okay, how am I going to make this look nice? How's it going to look like a little, you know, like farmhouse? I don't know how to do this. And then it all just kind of came together. I honestly think one of the like most important things about a build is adding landscaping. As soon as I add landscaping, I'm like, okay, I love this build. But beforehand, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. So yeah, it just shows you like the little things that change a whole build. Adding trees, you know, adding like little tiny details, it helps. It really does. It helps a lot. Now, I think the first bedroom I move on to is the grandparents' bedroom. He ends up having like the cutest little space in the world, so I'm so excited to show you that. Now, in terms of this space that I'm doing right now, you're probably thinking, this looks very busy. It is very busy, but I did play test it and everything did function. Everything seemed to be okay. Of course, let me know if there's any issues on your end. I'm always happy to change things up. But yeah, everything seemed to be pretty cool on my end, so I'm hoping it works okay. But yeah, also, sorry I've been a little bit MIA this week. There's been a lot going on, kind of like, you know, family-wise and things in my life, which is why I've sort of been a little bit quiet, but hopefully that's okay, and, you know, it's nothing crazy, or, you know, I feel like I try and get a video up every week at least, but I like to get them up more often than that. And when I'm off schedule, I just feel so like, oh, like I just hate being off schedule. But I have so many builds in the moment, like in the works at the moment. Sorry, I worded that really weirdly. I have so many builds that I'm working on at the moment. It's just kind of getting them out and getting them ready. I have a lot of like bigger projects that I'm working on, so I'm so excited to share them. But one of them is a really exciting build that I have, or not build, sorry, it's a really exciting video that I have hinted at, or well, I've said it a while back, and I've been working on it for quite a while now. But it's, you know, when you just have one of those videos that it takes a while. It's gonna take a while, but I'm really excited for it. I have a really exciting build coming out. Speaking of which, if you join my Discord, which there is a link in the description, I actually show sneak peeks of things that I'm working on. So if you're in the Discord group, you'll already know the build, well, one of the builds that I'm working on at the moment. I love sharing them. I love to hear feedback, honestly, and I love to just show what I'm doing, because I feel like sometimes I might not be active on YouTube, but I am active on other platforms like Discord, like Instagram. So yeah, I'm always kind of trying to update everyone and let people know that, you know, I'm still here, I'm still doing stuff. It's just taking a while. So yeah, definitely join that if you're not in it already. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the grandpa's room. So this is such a sweet little room. It ends up having a lot of plants, which is one of the reasons that I love it so much. He ends up having a TV in here. He's got his little hamper basket. He also has a photo of his granddaughter on his little table, which I thought was the cutest thing in the world. I added a light as well. And then, yeah, just a few extra details. I did find with this build, it was so easy to clutter up and make it feel very full. Because I was dealing with such a small space, it was just so much easier to clutter up. I feel like this is why I struggle with modern builds, because they're bigger spaces and they're not really made to be filled up. So a lot of the time when I'm building them, they just feel very empty to me, and I hate that feeling. Like, I hate building and I'm not filling every little space. But this is kind of where I shine. So I feel like, honestly, I would be happy to do more tiny homes. This was so fun to do. And again, yeah, just so easy to clutter. But this is the little girl's room. Now, this room is so cute. Now, I want to talk about that little playhouse that I added. I actually initially was looking for the barn, okay? But I couldn't find it. And then it clicked. I was like, maybe she wouldn't play with a barn, you know, because she lives like somewhere that has a lot of barns. She lives somewhere that's, you know, that's kind of like normal for her. So maybe it would make more sense that she has like a rocket playhouse. Do you get what I mean? Because I feel like when I build like other family homes and I do like little girls' rooms or little boys' rooms, I always do like the little barn. But like they're not used to stuff like that, so that's really cool to them. So I thought maybe the rocket was something that would be really cool to her. I don't know. Please let me know you kind of know what I'm trying to say here. I thought that was really sweet, so that's what I ended up doing. I added a lot of posters to her room. I also added this like little tea light candle holder. You can see that on our bedside table. I believe we got that from Businesses and Hobbies, and I had not even noticed it. And I seen it when I was building this room, and I was like, I just have to include that. So that ends up being in this room, and I love it so much. I added these little fairy lights, which are so sweet. These just felt so like kid-like and just so cute. I'm also using the wallpaper from one of the kits that we got. I'm not even going to try and remember what kit because I'm so bad at remembering the names of kits. It's really, really bad. But anyway, we're now moving on to the bathroom. Now, for this, I used the Country Kitchen Kit flooring, I believe, and then just some like tatted old brick on the wall, which I just thought looked really cute. Now this bathroom honestly isn't anything special, but I wanted to show it anyway. I did include some towels on the door, which I felt like just gave it that kind of like kid-like vibe, which I really wanted to come across because there's a kid living in here. Now, something to note, when you open the door in this room, it does like go through the sink because technically the sink is like in front of the door. If that bothers you, please feel free to like take away the little corner unit and just move the sink to the back. I just really didn't want to do that. Like, I really liked the way this was laid out, so I just kept it like this. I was like, it's fine. Like, for me, it doesn't bother me in builds when things like that happen, but I know some people might not like it, so just thought it was something to note. So yeah, if you want to change it, please feel free. But anyway, moving back to the living room because I'm indecisive and realised it just wasn't cluttered up enough for me. Typical. But we do end up moving to the back garden very shortly. Do not worry. You're probably thinking, how can you spend so long on an interior that is this small? Honestly, I don't even know how I do it, but I managed to do it. I thought it was really sweet to have this little basket as well. I know it's baby toys, but I thought maybe he's had them since he was a baby and like he just keeps them because he's like, oh, what if she needs them? I just thought that was really sweet. I added some wheelie bins, of course, because that's just a necessity. I actually didn't add a mailbox, I just realised, but I'm definitely going to add that before I add it to the gallery, so don't worry. Something else I think I'm going to add, because I completely forgot, is a flower arranging table. So you'll probably notice that in the screenshots that I've added that. Just as an extra activity, because honestly there's not too many activities. I did make sure to add a barbecue. I added the horse ranch one. We've got some planters. We've also got the chicken coop, sorry. And then we also have like the little cow pen. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think there is many activities as such. So yeah, just to keep in mind, I probably will add that. So if you want to download this, they should be in the build. And I did change the fencing up for the little chicken coop because it just felt, I don't know, nice to have it be a little bit different. Now, if you're building little spaces with your fences, they don't actually take up tiles. If you do it a certain way, they shouldn't take up tiles, which is really, really nice. As long as they're not like enclosed fully, they won't take up any tiles, which is perfect. I didn't add any like platforms to this build either because I just wanted to have like as much space as possible, which you probably noticed. If you do want to have a little bit more of a I don't know, a little bit more like dynamic, a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, like depth, I suppose. You could definitely add a platform, but yeah, I decided not to. But yeah, this is me cluttering up this little space. I added some bushes, some greenery. I just wanted it to feel very nice and I don't know, just very green and very bright, which I feel like it did. But we are coming to the end of this video, so if you've made it this far, then thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.